Joining me now is Amiben Yagnik. She's a Congress MP. Rajat Sethi has been a former advisor, a political advisor to Manipur Chief Minister, analyst and close to the BJP. Rahul Srivastav is National Affairs Editor. I want to come to you, Amiben Yagnik. You must have heard a little bit of Harish Salve out there. He seems to suggest that there is, let SEBI inquire, let them give a report in 72 hours, all will be well. The opposition is making these allegations, but these allegations will not hold. How do you respond to what you might have just heard?
Rajdeep, I think the former Solicitor General, I think he has been lawyer for the Adanis. He gave his own opinion. I think he has not gauged the seriousness of the issue. He has also not looked at the silence of the Honorable Prime Minister, the silence of the Finance Minister, the silence of the regulator. SEBI has always been here. SEBI knows about everything that's going on. And there is no suo motu action by any authority or a statement by any authority on this issue. It's a very, very serious issue. Just to brush aside and say that the SEBI will have to give a report in 72 hours and all questions can be asked. Well, everyone knows that a regulator is supposed to do that and inquire into the matter. But the opposition is asking, what is wrong? Why is the Prime Minister silent? Why is the Finance Minister silent? Why is the Minister or the Honorable Prime Minister not caring for the common citizens who have invested or put their money, in the banks and the LIC and who have been there in part in this particular incident? And we are only talking of investor confidence and we are talking about inquiries. But what is there where the Honorable Prime Minister...
Ma'am, what is the nature of inquiry do you want? Do you want an inquiry by SEBI? Or do you want an inquiry, as you have demanded today in Parliament, by a joint parliamentary committee? Are you asking, why not wait till the market regulator puts out its report first?
But then why? What is wrong in having a JPC or having an inquiry by the Honorable Supreme Court Justice? A committee should be formed instantly, because this is a very, very huge issue that has come before the country, and everyone is worried. And if you have seen all the reports that are coming out, or the statements that are coming out, and the silence of the other side, why there should not be a JPC? This is a case where the Honorable Prime Minister can just say that, yes, let there be an inquiry, let there be a JPC, and everything will come out. It's not that only there is one side and another side. There are so many stakeholders, there are so many issues, and they are touching the common people of this country. So why not have it at the first instance? Why should the opposition be even asking and requesting? There should be an instant answer from the Honorable Prime Minister.
You know, Rajat Sethi, one fact which is coming out is the complete silence over the last week. It's now more than a week since Hindenburg's report came out. The Finance Ministry is silent. SEBI has not come out with an official statement. The Reserve Bank has not come out with an official statement. The proximity of Gautam Adani to Prime Minister Modi is no secret. And therefore, the perception clearly, which the opposition is seeking to exploit now, is that someone is protecting, or in some way, Mr. Adani has to answer the questions which the opposition is raising. Are there, wouldn't the Prime Minister and this government be better off giving a statement, at least at the very instance, telling us where they stand on this issue? You're on mute. You're on mute, sir. You're on mute.
Well, Rajdeep ji, you answered your own question while you were framing it. This is at best a fishing expedition. The opposition is actually looking for a black swan event, perhaps to change their fortunes for the 2024 elections. And this is why they are constantly, insisting on a JPC. When has JPC conducted any kind of an inquiry which has had a reasonable conclusion anywhere in the recent past or the past couple of decades? So it's just a deflection, number one. Number two, over the past year, we have seen how a lot of tech companies also, like Elon Musk and others, have lost 70% of their wealth. It's not like Biden from the White House is coming in and giving a clarification as to what has happened. Of course,
Elon Musk and Joe Biden are not best buddies. The fact is, Gautam Adani has... No, 1 minute. Gautam Adani's rise over the last 10 years has coincided with the rise of Narendra Modi. Therefore, the opposition is going to, Rahul Gandhi, let's be fair to him, has been raising this issue, saying it's cronyism. Now they are claiming the Hindenburg research report justifies a lot of what they've been saying. Shouldn't the government or someone, at least the market regulator, which Harish Salve said, must come out with a clear statement?
You are right, market regulators' silence is deafening, and I think SEBI should at the earliest, without spooking the markets. I mean, I think the SEBI thinkers over there are thinking that how best to sort of come in and try and give a best possible response so as to not to spook the market. That's point number one. But please keep it in mind that the gibberish that Rahul Gandhi throws at Adani, when on the other hand you see Ashok Gehlot rolling a red carpet before him, it just doesn't add up. Look at the Karnataka government, which was led by Siddaramaiah, the number of solar power plant contracts which are given to Adani were the highest in the whole country. So Congress doesn't have a locus here. But
Rajat,
having said
get
that,
your
and I
audio.
agree with you, there are certain questions that the SEBI should ask the Adani Group, and no one else can answer it other than the Adani. And it's no other body other than the SEBI which can ask those questions.
So you're saying SEBI must launch the inquiry. It's not for government of India or the Modi government to be responding to a JPC demand at this stage. Rahul Srivastav, is this now about perception? We are entering an election year. The opposition has perhaps scented blood and believes that they could use Gautam Adani in a way to target Narendra Modi. Is that the aim of the opposition?
See, Rajdeep, just a few days back, if you recall, we were discussing after that element about election coming and Narendra Modi emerging versus the opposition. I had said that there needs to be a mistake and the opposition needs to come together. These are the two very important ingredients. Now, what is happening, that if you see in the last 24 hours what has happened, let's leave alone what the Hindenburg report and other things, there was a budget narrative. It has been 24 hours, it has been replaced by a narrative about what opposition is calling Adani Gate. This is what a lot of leaders were saying today in opposition. Now, what they are saying is that there is now an opposition unity over the issue. Today morning, ahead of the sitting starting, there were 13 parties which came together. This also includes parties which didn't come together when there was a BRS rally in Hyderabad or various other occasions. Aam Admi Party, BRS, DMK, several others. 13 parties were there. Now, they all decided they will go in for a JPC or a Chief Justice of India appointed committee. They also want that there should be a day-to-day reporting. They are, I think, compared to Rafale last elections.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, compared to the last elections, 2019, if you recall, there was Rafale and Chaukidar Chor hai an element. Somehow the public connect could be created by the Congress and the opposition. This time they are trying to do it by linking it to LIC and SBI, that the common man's money is there. Now, this is where lies the real problem, Rajdeep. Now, opposition senses it as an opportunity. It is trying to come together, but that's right on in parliament. Now, beyond that, outside, you need to maintain that unity and you need to sustain this issue. Exactly 5 years ago, Rafale was an issue which came to India. Now, this issue again has come to India from outside. The BJP will work at it. It is silent right now, but wait, the BJP is not a party which will be not doing anything, unlike the Congress, which you recall, the JPC on Bofors 1982, Harshad Mehta 1992, Ketan Parekh 2001, all that. But one important point, if the Congress and the opposition have to target Modi, they have to create the connect between this entire thing which has happened, the Hindenburg report, the credibility of Adani Group, and link it to the credibility of Narendra Modi. And that can only be done not on the basis of a note.
Let me ask that to Ami-Ben Yagnik. Ami-Ben Yagnik, how are you linking Hindenburg to Prime Minister Modi? What is the link that the opposition is claiming here?
See, the first and the foremost thing is that whatever you just heard, that there should be a linkage between this and this and this, But why is there not an inquiry? Why every time the government is running away from inquiry? There's a crony capitalism aspect here. There is a factor of social justice. The parties have come together because the people's money is involved here. All these factors, I think there has to be a full-fledged inquiry. You can't go on comparing 1982 and 1992 and 1995. There's not been a JPC. Let there be a JPC. If
What
the
is
truth
the
has to be
link?
uncovered,
What is the link,
if
prima
the Honorable Prime
facie,
Minister
ma'am?
was not
Ma'am,
very close.
What is the prima facie, the link you see between the Hindenburg report, Gautam Adani and Narendra Modi? What is that link at the moment, prima facie, that demands a JPC?
There has been a report, and based on that report, I think you also mentioned Credit Suisse Bank and then the collateral aspect that has been discussed here by you. And all these issues, why should not there be some kind of inquiry to see that the link is established? There is a link, but let there be an inquiry. Why everyone is running away from the inquiry? And why is the regulator not taking it up suo motu right away? And why is it that you always bring the election aspect? Why you always bring something that the opposition parties are not coming together? You never think of the common people? You never think about the savings of the people of this country? Why don't you bring that angle into the picture? Why are these people have to go back from the banks?
You know,
Today one of the opposition parties said that the banks were not saying, not giving the money to the people asking them for the money. I think LIC is also losing its, the people are losing confidence in LIC. Now all these are very big issues. We should just not say that, well, it's a small issue and the market will decide or whatever the investor confidence is. They are a separate issue.
I don't think anyone is saying it's a small issue. Rajat Sethi, would you say, as you said, the SEBI regulator must now intervene? We've had in the past Ketan Parikh's JPC, we've had a JPC on Harshad Mehta. Whenever there has been a sense that the markets, and we still don't know whether there is a scam at this level, it would be unfair to call it that. But given the kind of charges and allegations that are being made at this moment, would the government be better off perhaps, as I said earlier, in putting in place some kind of an inquiry that restores some element of confidence? If SEBI does it, well and good. If SEBI doesn't, let the political class take over.
Well, if you want to make it a political slugfest, then let the political class take it over. We will never get to the bottom of it. And I think in order to get it, we need technicians who understand the complexities of the markets and how market manipulation, if at all, as accused by Hindenburg, is there. That requires serious analysis and studies. Let the people who are competent to do that. And I said, SEBI should, at the earliest, without any further delay, institute an inquiry into this. Look at what is the response of the Adani Group to some of the questions that the Hindenburg report has done. It might as well be that there are, some of the allegations are vacuous in nature. It could very well be that. And we are seeing that mayhem in the bloodbath in the stock market that would ease out. Because see, today in the morning, if you see the stock, Adani stocks hit the upper circuit, and towards the evening, they all hit lower circuits, and intraday players are having a merry-making time out there. They're just minting money over the speculation that is surrounding the Adani stock. So wherever the stock is getting priced every single day is not its true value. And for the market to reach to a true value, the dust needs to settle down. It's not like Adani owns world's biggest green assets. It has more than 30 gigawatt of assets. You can't assume that the windmills will disappear or the solar panels are going to disappear and the Adani Group would be nowhere to be found. It doesn't work like that. And it is not just Indian banks. There are foreign banks which have bulk of exposure to the Adani Group. They were not just looking at simple collaterals of the stock market trading of Adani. They were looking at hard assets. And let me tell you, Rajdeep ji, all infrastructure projects are heavily skewed in debt equity ratios. Any simple solar plant you go out and install yourself, you would get 80% debt on that, because these are backed with hard assets on the ground. Was there a bubble? Maybe. The entire financial year of 2022 saw asset values ballooning. That was primarily because of the greenback being published and printed in the US Fed. Every asset around the world was ballooning. And this is why some of the biggest companies, Facebook, Elon Musk's company, ARK Investments, everybody lost half of their value.
Rajat Sethi, you make a strong point when you say infrastructure that the Adani Group has is real assets that they have. They control 30% of India's ports. But in the years 2020, 2021, the manner in which their stock went up exponentially will certainly raise certain questions. Now, SEBI needs to answer those questions and answer them transparently. Rahul Srivastava, as a final quick word, how is this now going to play out politically? Does this mean that this entire parliament session now gets hijacked by what happened with Adani? Is that what's going to happen next? Very quickly.
See, Rajdeep, yes, I think that's what is going to happen. The opposition senses an opportunity. I think one very important point, that the supremacy of parliament to hold people, elements accountable is supreme. So there should be an inquiry. I think the Congress in the past, there were 5 major JPCs. Bofors, Congress gave in very easily. Harshad Mehta, Congress gave in very easily. 2G Spectrum, Congress gave in easily. VIP choppers thing, Congress gave in easily. I think this government has broader shoulders. It takes more punishment and it brazens it out. I think that brazening out will work till the time that a connect can be proven. That connect is important. What the BJP is doing. Some leaders are already talking about, Rajdeep, that till now Congress was saying, and opposition, that Adani never falters. Adani is never on the defensive. Now, today you see Adani, nobody hand-holding Adani, Adani on the defensive. Now, that one argument, will the BJP distance itself, let Adani take a bit of shock, and perhaps will then come back and say, see, we never hand-held the Adani Group. Then so also there is also the element, Rajdeep, that Adani Group has investment in all the states in the country today. Are all opposition parties going to remain together on that?
That's an interesting point. Mr. Adani is actually invested in about 22 states of the country. They include the left-controlled Kerala, TMC-controlled Bengal, Congress-controlled states like Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan, apart from BJP-ruled states. So he isn't completely modified in a way. So it will be interesting to see how the opposition now plays this out in the lead up to the 2024 elections. For now, to all our panelists for joining me and on this contentious issue, thank you very much.